Hey Aries, and welcome to your November 2017 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky here to give you guys hopefully another amazing reading for your month ahead. And I think this is like my fourth or fifth attempt to try to do you guys reading, and each time I've had to cut it short or not do it just because I feel so like overtaken by the energy and I feel like really drained. But I am here now again to try to make your reading as amazing as possible and to try to help you guys navigate these crazy energies which keep coming forward for you. What I tend to see for Aries in November is a big shift in energy and basically letting go of really locked on energies to you that have been locked on for a long time. So really new experiences of reaction to emotional stimulus, new experiences of people, finding that you sort of like people that you never used to like, or finding that you've fallen out with people that you always wanted to like is a big thing in November. We have a really big shift in energy coming in for everyone, which is Jupiter and Scorpio, which isn't really the worst thing for you, but not really the best thing either, in the beginning at least, just because the Scorpio Aries angle isn't the most harmonious. But at the same time, Scorpio is also an Aries ruled sign, or I'm sorry, a Mars ruled sign, so there's that common ground there. So you're going to get a lot of expansion in the Mars sectors of your lives. So in your ambitions, in your goals, in your physical vitality and your thrust for life, all of that is going to be expanded over the next year. But what can also expand with Jupiter and Scorpio can be some of the turmoil, some of the illusions of life, secrets, lies, anything in your life which has to do with maintaining secrets or lies, maintaining turmoil, or maintaining any kind of ego battle can also be expanded. So November comes as the month that I feel for Aries, where you sort of decide what the next year has in store for you energetically. And you make a lot of decisions here in a subtle way, I feel, in a really like mundane way that sort of really set your path for the next chapter of your life. And that's just a lot to take on, and I'm happy that I've been able to articulate it as well as that, because it hasn't quite happened in my other attempts to do your reading. Yeah, that's really what it comes down to, is a lot of subtle actions. It might not feel like the most activated month, although it can be for some of you, but for the majority of Aries, I feel like you might be taking a step back. You might be not out in the center of attention like you can tend to be, sort of being the hermit. Lots of watery energy, lots of energy that has to do with pulling back or taking on less. But also for some of you, you're taking on more. So it's going to be divided between a lot of the Aries. But there's definitely a pull to need less, or to kind of think like maybe budget more, whether that be your money or your time. Thinking about what has priority in your life is going to be important in November, because it does feel to me that you can also start a lot of things here which sort of become not what you expected. Like maybe you start volunteering because you've really been wanting to like help out your community, and that ends up being not the best thing because people start taking advantage of your time. Things like that. Or it seems like things that you have really good intentions for, that are really nice things, become like small personal ego battles with other people. So, and why does that happen? That usually happens because it's been hard to acknowledge the ego battle within yourself. So the universe puts those people on your path so that you can see it within yourself. People that we've not known for very long tend to be mirrors into our life, into our soul, into our experience. So pay very close attention to the new people that are in your life in November, the strangers or the people that you don't know very well, and pay very close attention to the first reaction that you have to them coming in, because that can say a lot about your own experience of life and your own experience of what's going on within you. So other than that, Aries, this is a month where you can achieve more recognition. You have that really amazing upright, the star energy and the Empress energy coming in to really make people see you in a nice light. That's the other thing. It does feel like new people in your life see you in a really nice light, but maybe people who've been there for a really long time are a little bit hazy about that, or are not seeing you in the best light. So it is a wonderful month to meet new people, a wonderful month to pull back and really think, okay, what do I need in life? What are my priorities? What are my values in life, and then really being able to base what your actions are on those things will really take you through this month in a very positive way. It is a month where you can overextend yourself, though, if you can't see that. You have Five of Pentacles, you have Strength reversed, you have Three of Cups reversed, and Queen of Cups reversed. All of those cards talk about being depleted or being overworked. I feel like a lot of you might be having to put in a lot of overtime at your job. A lot of you might be having to take care of other people's problems or tame other people's beasts, per se, because you have that Strength reverse, and there's something about the process of taming something which is depleting you or not feeling authentic. So definitely think about what battles you're having to fight and why you're having to fight it. Are you fighting it for yourself? Are you fighting it for other people? As I've been saying in everyone's readings for November, something that's come through really clear for me with Jupiter now being in Scorpio is that, you know, delusional people or disillusionment or any kind of disconnection from reality can't be tolerated very long in this kind of energy. So anything that you have where you're sort of like, no, I'm going to tame other people's beasts, I'm going to help other people overcome things because that's authentic to me, when in reality you don't have the energy to do it, because that's kind of a delusional in a way. So what will happen is you'll come into contact with a lot of very difficult karmic experiences because you can't be real with yourself, because you can't be real with other people, you can't be upfront with other people. Definitely a wonderful month to mean what you say, what you mean, and mean what you say. For sure, that is a really great blessing this month, and you guys are generally pretty good at that. But it's been funny to see how Aries has attracted in a lot of people over the last year, where you've had to be a little bit more coy, where you've had to be a little bit more shy and reserved. So it would be good to step out of that. I don't feel like Aries has much to learn, or I mean, not learn isn't the right word. I don't feel like Aries benefits much from having to be overly passive or overly shy with people. So watch out for that. Find people that you can be in your nature with. You have your central theme, Knight of Wands, which is a wonderful, wonderful energy for you. That is your masculine energy, Knight of Wands. So definitely becoming more adaptable, more spontaneous, more gregarious towards life, I want to say, more connected to the ego in a healthy way, because that's not always such a bad thing for a fire sign. It would be a great month to travel, if you can, to do something adventurous for sure. You also have Page of Wands in your reading. But anyway, I want to go ahead and get into the week to week and see more specifically what is coming forward for you all. In the first week, you guys have Strength reversed, suited down by Page of Wands. Definitely finding your strength and your creativity towards life by letting go of something, by saying, no, this is not right for me. Some of you, I feel, have already done this coming into November. Some of you have sort of made this your mission of life, I think, to realize, okay, I had this ego battle. I realized that was an ego battle, and I'm going to let go of that. I don't need to have any fulfillment of that, and through that you found like this huge creative spectrum of life, like you turned around, the door opened, and you're already on the path. If not, it's like you have this opportunity in the first week of November, entering directly into this Jupiter and Scorpio energy to do it. And it really kind of answers my question for Aries, like Jupiter and Scorpio is really going to be an ambitious type of energy for you, where you can sort of set a goal, and through letting go of certain things, because that's what Scorpio energy is all about. It's all about endings, closures, letting go, and experiencing a lot of power through that. And Aries can be as well, as you're also ruled by Mars, although it's more of a Plutonian thing, which is Scorpio's ruler as well, Pluto. But the whole idea is sort of where you gain power through sort of pruning yourself, or sort of letting go of things, like not trying to hold up a bunch of dead weight to where you're sort of only doing everything decently, or I want to say like almost mediocre. Like I'm not saying that Aries is mediocre, of course I'm not saying that. If anything, you guys are not, but it feels like you're holding up a lot of dead weight, or holding up a lot of things, like invested in a lot of places, and you need to like remove those investments and focus all of your investment in like one or two places, versus like a big investment scattered out over like 15 different places needs to be scattered out in like one or two places, if that makes sense. So wonderful time to do that in the first week, and it feels like you really feel motivated through it, because I think one of the hardest things for Aries to do is to admit defeat. You're such a competitive sign, you're such a victory-oriented sign, and sometimes the biggest victory that you can have is to let go of something, and that's sort of the Scorpio side of Mars. Scorpio is sort of victory through defeat, and winning through loss, whereas Aries is just winning. So Jupiter and Scorpio will definitely teach you some valid, really nice, I feel, karmic lessons with that. Like, you might actually find, Aries, that in the next year, you have some of the biggest victories in your life through small, subtle actions of letting go. But it's kind of hard for you, I know, because you feel very disempowered by that. But it's like you have to try it, and I think that you know exactly what you might need to let go of. It's just a matter of being strong enough to let yourself do that. In the second week, you guys have Three of Cups reversed, rooted down by Five of Pentacles. So this is sort of where the month can be the most difficult, I think, or it can also be very victorious depending on your outlook. Definitely feeling to me that some platonic relationships or work relationships, something that you've kind of networked through, is not really working out so great for you. Three of Cups reversed has been popping up for a lot of people this month. So it really just has to do with thinking, like, why do I like the people that I like? Why do people like me? Because Three of Cups is all about, you know, just enjoying the people that are around you. And when it's reversed, it's like, why do I enjoy them? Why am I surrounded by the people that I'm surrounded by? And sort of trying to validate to yourself just why things are the way that they are with relationships in your life. Like, what do I offer of substance to people around me? What do they offer of substance to me? It feels like you might not be sure. It's like everything's just a habit or a cycle right now. And it's like, oh, well, I usually get together with these people, but I'm not really sure why I do it anymore, but I can't imagine myself not doing it. Lots of that kind of thing. And I think it's hitting you harder than you realize, with that being rooted down by Five of Pentacles. That can be interpreted in a lot of different ways, but you could be feeling like you're being very emotionally depleted by the people that are in your life, feeling like you are not being emotionally like, what's the word, fulfilled in any way, or emotionally reimbursed, I almost want to say, for what you give to other people. I think that you've been very much there for people, or you've been really attracting, kind of like Leo, and I think all the fire signs have kind of had this to some degree, attracting people who are going through some kind of dark night of the soul, and you're sort of that light that shines onto them, and it's like good at first because you like help them through something, but then there's no like give and take, there's no equal exchange, there's no you know, giving of substance from them to you. It's like all you to them. So definitely taking a look at how you're being compromised by people in your life. And I feel like platonic relationships especially, but for some of you it's your romantic relationships as well. And thinking, like, is there equal exchange? Is there compromise in the relationships? Is there equal ground in some kind of way? Because it feels like unequal. It feels very tumultuous or kind of volatile with relationships. So in the third week, you guys have the Star rooted down by the Hermit. That's really wonderful. I think that because we're kind of have like a crossroads type of energy, where I think some Aries are on one side and some Aries are on the other. Some of you are really bursting onto the scene of something. Some of you are really getting recognition for, I don't know, a job that you did. Maybe some of you are finally releasing the record, or trying to finish the book, or starting the new business. Anything that's really ambitious or goal-oriented. Some of you are having a lot of luck with that towards the end of November. And I think that all Aries are to some extent. Either you've been working on it for a while now and it's becoming known, or you're about to step into that place, because that's what the Hermit is all about too. It's about getting away from the chatter, getting away from people, and getting away from distractions, so that you're just alone with yourself and you can hear more clearly your inner voice and know more clearly what you actually want to do with your own life, versus having other people sort of give that opinion. So one way or another, regardless, and I feel for like 100% of Aries, the third week of November is a really perfect time to think, what do I want to do with my life? Where do I want to be? What goals do I have? How am I going to accomplish them? And one side of Aries will have already sort of been doing that for a while and will actually be getting notoriety and recognition for that. And then the other side of Aries will just kind of be separated from people as they decide what that actually is for them. And I think that it's beautiful to see that from you guys, because you've been in sort of a rut. You've been in sort of even if you've been like very successful, or you're making more money than you ever have before, there's been like a question in your mind, or there's been an insecurity about whether it's right for you. And the third week really is wonderful to know like what's right for you, and to be able to set out to do something that is right for you. Also, a strong validation that the money will be okay with this sort of idea that you have in the back of your mind. It will be good to be responsible as Saturn is still in Sagittarius and it's about to move into Capricorn. So you definitely have to be responsible. You have to save properly. You have to give like your notice, all that kind of stuff. In the best circumstances, you can do those types of things, and you'll be really supported in your new endeavors. But as long as you can be responsible with your energy output right now, you will be very successful in the goals and ambitions that you have for the future. In the 4th week, you guys have Queen of Cups reversed, rooted down by the Empress. It's good for some of you. It's not so good for some of you. All Aries have to definitely heal the empathetic nature, or have to be able to heal the emotional, the part of your emotional complex that absorbs from other people. As I feel that's probably the reason why you have the Hermit before this, because it feels like you just have to get away from people, or you have to distance yourself from very emotionally draining people because you're feeling like very drained in the 4th week. Or you could also be around people who are so drained and trying to sort of take your energy to make up for their energetic drains. So try to definitely be separate from people. After the Hermit pops up in your reading in the 3rd week, moving into the 4th week, try to be a little bit more alone. Try to be a little bit more disconnected, and you will feel much more healed, because you definitely have to get that right side up. It's strange to see the Star and then the Queen of Cups reversed, because the Star is also a time of rejuvenation. Another interpretation of that 3rd week could be changing up your lifestyle, drinking more water, having a better diet, detoxing, rejuvenating your body, recharging your body. And for some reason in the 4th week, you're feeling a little bit out of battery. You're feeling, you know, drained. So it's rooted down by the Empress though, so it's like through seeing this, maybe you finally see how serious it is, like how long you've actually been drained. Like, wow, I've been going through all of 2017 without one good night's sleep or something, or I've been going through all of 2017 without really rewarding myself for anything, or without even being open to new ideas. And it really feels like a big realization that happens, and you actually feel quite empowered by that, because you sort of make up for it, or you go into a cycle of, you know, making up for the lost time or making up for the lost energy in the 4th week. So that's wonderful to see for you guys. Also, the 4th week, like, new relationships can start. The Empress is all about fertility and birthing something into the world that can be the birth of a new relationship. It can also be like the birth of a new business. Any kind of creative idea that is within yourself can come out to the rest of the world during this time. And you are very attractive to other people right now, I think, more so than you realize. You have a lot of magnetism cards in your reading: Page of Wands, the Star, the Empress, Knight of Wands, Strength if it were upright, but just those 4 by themselves are really powerful towards the magnetism that you project to other people. And Aries is funny in that way because they don't usually realize when they're doing it, and other people would usually never believe that. But do think about like who you're magnetizing right now, who you might not really be aware that you're flirting with, because people can like definitely perceive you in a more flirtatious way than usual during this month. And your central theme is Knight of Wands, and it will be just so great to travel, so great to be spontaneous, so great to be adaptable, and to not be too reliant on any one thing this month, or to not be too fixated on achieving or making some kind of progress, getting some kind of number, whether it be like followers or money or number. Too much number focus in November for everyone is kind of a problem. So think about the subtleties of life. Think about what actually makes you feel good that doesn't really have to do with numbers or statistics or anything like that, because you're being so empowered this month. And even though it might be a little bit difficult for Aries, I feel that you are having definitely one of the top 3 experiences this month of positivity in November, believe it or not. You are fixing something within yourself, but at the same time, your energy is very healthy, comparatively speaking. So I'm really proud to see that. It feels like it's clicked, you know, within you. You've not really needed a lot of help to understand some of your own self-sabotaging tendencies, some of your own problems. So I think that November will really be wonderful in the sense that you do overcome a lot, in the sense that you come into touch with reality, in the sense that you are pulling people in and magnetizing people, and that should boost your confidence as well. I've been so happy to deliver this reading for you guys. It should start to get a lot better in November. If you'd like to book a private reading with me to shed some light on any of these energies, you can click in the center of your screen right now. Also, you can check out my Humanity and Fall video, which I did just as a general type of video, not really having to do so much with astrology. Check out your Sun, Moon, Rising sign on the right, and your likes, comments, and subscribes keep me going. There's also some more interesting stuff in the description box. I will be talking to you guys in December. Bye.